So here we go. It says this, read along with me, with larger polynomials like trinomials and bigger, the FOIL acronym doesn't work because FOIL only works for binomial times binomials. So I want to generalize this. When multiplying, say, binomials times trinomials, the concept of multiplying every term in one polynomial by all the other terms is used. What I remember, and this is what I've been repeating for the last couple of days, Tyler, hey, everything in the front times everything in the back. So, you may have done stuff like example 1 last year. This is what they'll throw at you on the provincial this year. Expand. What that really means is multiply out and get rid of brackets. Greg, you know how I'm going to do that? I'll give you a hint. Everything in the times everything in the back. Let's try it. Ready, Greg? We're going to do it, you and me. Everyone else, let's see if we can. I'm going to go, and this is where drawing loops is really worth it. I'm going to go yoink. What is that? 3x times x squared, my friend. Yes? Don't you dare say 3x3, that's battleship. x4, that's battleship. b5, that's battleship. 3x cubed, or to the third, I'll live with that. If you sound like a nerd, you'll start thinking like a nerd. And your grades will reflect that of being nerdishness. Greg, keep going. I don't know if that'll ever happen, but that's, yeah.
3x plus 4x.
We're multiplying, so.
Times 4x.
So 3 times 4 is?
12.
And x times x is?
2. Or 2x, x squared.
So positive 12 x squared. Awesome. And then I need to draw the last loop. Donk. 3x times positive 4. Positive reminds me to put the plus sign, right? 12 is the coefficient, x is the variable. I agree. There's the first set. Brody, let's do the second set. What I started doing years ago, because my brackets got crowded, my little loops got crowded, I do these underneath like that, and like that, and that way they stay out of each other's way. So positive 2 times x squared, knock me out, what do you get? Positive 2x squared. Positive 2 times positive 4x. Squared? Yeah, careful, right? By the way, I don't know if you heard me said x squared. It is very easy to trip on our brain on these. So kind of ratchet up your level of paranoidness when you're doing these to say, I really don't want to make a dumb mistake, right? Last one. Positive 8. So we have got rid of brackets. What do we do now? Gather like terms. Are there some? Usually there will be. I'm going to use my underline and cross out method. So the first thing I'm going to say is, are there any other x cubeds? Nope. So there's a total of 3x cubeds. Cross it out. Then I run into an x squareds. Are there any other x squareds? There are. How many x squareds do I have here? Grand total.
14.
Positive or negative?
Positive.
Reminding me to put a plus. Got him. Then let's do all my x's. And you'll notice by doing this, I can also write my final answer in one step in a descending degree from biggest to smallest degree. So it looks like it's supposed to. What is 12x plus 8x? Positive 20x, you said? And took care of that. The last thing I have is the constant term. Positive 8. Is everything crossed out? That's my check to see if I missed anything. Good. We were careful on our multiplication. I'm pretty sure we're right. We are. Okay. So what we're going to be doing today is binomial times trinomial, or trinomial times trinomial, which is longer but not necessarily tougher, or binomial times binomial times binomial. Try, what do you want to do, number 2 or number 3 on your own? 3? 2? You know what, 3 looks yuckier, so how about we try 3 and that way we find the homework easy. Now you can either do it over here sideways, or if you want to, you can do it down here, because I'm not going to write anything here. If you want to try number 3, now number 3 has more than one variable, so be extra, extra careful when you're gathering like terms. I'm going to do it up here silently. I'll freeze the screen. Let's see if we end up in the same place. And if you're stuck, try and fake like you know what you're doing and just move your pencil. No one will notice, and I'll kind of get there when we get there. Yep.
I don't have this sheet.
I gave it to you, I thought.
It's not the right one.
It's not the right one? Good gosh. Thank you for telling me. I'm not done yet, but that's part of what I got. I think I ended up there. See if you get there. If you didn't, it probably means you're normal. It's a tricky one. And I'm happy to explain any terms you're wondering about. Yeah, Alex? Does the order matter? For this one, I wouldn't be too fussy. I decided at the beginning, I said, you know what, I'll go down by x's. I'll do, if there's an x cubed, I'll do that first. If something's got an x squared in it, I'll do it next. You will notice I did write the letters alphabetically just so that all of my answers look the same. So even if I got an XA, I wrote it as an AX so that later on, if I got something, I'd spot the AX and the AX as like terms easier. Not wrong, but I'm always about trying to minimize my dumb mistakes, right? Try and trip on my brain as little as possible. Am I right or wrong? I could be wrong. I got distracted twice. I'm right? Really? So I can do this, but I can't give a student the right handout? Wow. A little weird. So when I multiplied, first term I got 12x cubed, negative 9a squared, negative 9ax squared, and then right away I wrote it alphabetically. Positive 3a squared x. And then I said, okay, this is tough. I'm going to be really, really careful. Negative 8a x squared, positive 6a squared x, negative 2a cubed. And then I started gathering like terms by underlining and crossing out. How many of you got that okay? This half of the class, not too bad. Okay, those of you that didn't, hopefully it was like one little sloppy mistake. I hope. Example 2, or class example 2 says, use a diagram method. Nah. We'll go to the next page. Okay? Take a look at number 1 and number 2. How are they alike and how are they different? Is each one here, example 1 and example 2, a binomial times a trinomial? Yeah. Which one looks tougher? Why? You're right. Why? Yeah? More exponents, more variables, more stuff. So you know what? Let's try the top one. If we get the top one, we can probably handle the bottom one. Is that okay, Marcus? Good assumption, right? Okay, let's try it. We'll do this one together. If you want to try it on your own and ignore me and zone out and just see if we get there, okay? That's totally good too. Curtis, can I pick on you, my friend? Doesn't matter, I'm going to anyways. Ready? That. Curtis, my friend, x squared times 2x squared.
2x to the power of 4.
I totally agree. X to the power of what? What do you say? To the fourth? You know what? This is a big enough exponent. Now I'm going to get a little paranoid and careful and worried because this is a challenge. Donc, x squared times positive 3xa. Curtis, what do you got? Numbers first. 3, I totally agree. Positive or negative?
Positive.
Let's write that down. I feel better. Yep.
X cubed.
Yep.
A.
I'm going to go ax cubed and do it alphabetically so that later on, if I get it, if as long as I write everything alphabetically, all my like terms will be easier to spot. Yoink, last one.
A squared.
Negative or positive?
Negative.
Negative, let's do that so we don't forget. Yep, keep going. You're right.
X squared.
You said a squared, x squared? I agree with you. Woohoo! Sam, you're next. Oh, were you late? I don't care about teaching you. Garrett, you're next. Ready? Let's do the bottom row. I'll even change colors. Yoink. 2a times 2x squared.
4ax squared.
Okay, positive 4ax squared. You with me? You with me? You with me? So now we're going to use your assistant. No more phoning a friend. Let's see if we can do this next one on your own. Here we go, here we go, here we go. First of all, numbers. 2 times 3,
Oh, 6.
positive. And now let's go letters. I got an A times an A.
A squared.
I agree. I got, yeah, I think just an X tacked on at the end. Yes? Cool. Let's keep going. Yoink. Finish the last one, Garrett. Positive or negative?
Positive 2a.
I disagree.
Oh,
Isn't it negative?
oh, I can't see it.
You have it right in front of you. You know that. I'm just spitballing here.
Oh, negative
Yes?
10.
Yes? A, how many A's do I? Yes. Okay. Now, yeah.
You want to do it a little bit?
Do I want to zoom in a little bit? I'll try. I can't go much bigger than that, still fit the notes in. There's a spot right here if you need it, by the way, too. Naomi, let's gather like terms, okay? Here we go. I'll go to black. Let's do those first. Any x to the fourths kicking around besides that one? Nope. Then let's drop it down like a domino. And cross it out. Then I have an ax cubed. Any ax cubes kicking around at all? Then let's drop it down like a domino. Positive 3ax cubed. Then I have a negative a squared x squared. Any of those kicking around? You know what? Are there any like terms anywhere at all? Then I actually probably could have gone something like quit right there. Right? So I guess, you know what? Megan, we got an idea. We should probably, before we start writing the next line, just ask, are there any like terms? If there's none, don't bother rewriting the silly thing. Save yourself some time. Okay? Example 3. Okay. Ain't so bad. Looks a little ugly, but I think we're going to be okay. Now, this second term here, how many things are you multiplying together? 2. This first term here, guys, quiet in the back row. How many things are you multiplying together? 3. This is the tricky one. This is where kids make the most common mistake. And the most common mistake that kids do is they go like this. They want to go, I'm going to multiply that, 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 and that. And by doing that, you've made a mistake. So here's Mr. Dewick's advice. Whenever you're multiplying 3 terms, the easiest, most efficient, less room to make sloppy mistakes method is always drop the first term down, multiply the next 2 together first. You can. I'll even say if you wanted to try doing it in your head, I'd say awesome. Would I on a test? Probably not. I'd show my work. Would I try doing it in my head in my homework? Anybody think they can foil it in their head showing no work? I'll give you a hint. going to be an x squared. There's also going to be a plus 45. By the way, do you see what he did? He said, look, I'll do the easiest stuff first. That I can keep track of. That I can keep track of. That's the first and the last. The middle is from that one plus that one. 5x plus 9x. See it? There's the 5x plus 9x. See it? We gathered like terms all in one fell swoop. Do you have to do that? No. Can you if you want to, Amber? Yep. I'm going to drop the minus sign down. Mr. Dewitt? Yeah. Could we FOIL out those last? Yeah, as a matter of fact, we could. Do we want to try doing this one in our heads, or do we want to try doing this one showing our steps? You know what? I'll do this one showing our steps because I think I lost a couple of you. So, bracket 3x times x, 3x squared. 3x times negative 3. Two times x, positive 2x. 2 times negative 3, negative 6. Double check that second bracket. Are there any like terms that we can gather? Yeah. Now, I would have no problem if you yoinked your pencil out right now, erased this middle section, and replaced it with what it is. Or you can rewrite the whole thing. I'll rewrite the whole thing. There's going to be a 4. There's going to be an x squared plus 14x. Greg, you see where the 14 came from? Plus 45. Where the 14x came from, right? There's going to be a minus sign. There's going to be a 3x squared, but there's not going to be a minus 9x plus 2x. What am I going to write instead, Brody? That's a good start. Sorry? You're almost right. Careful. Yes, negative 7x. Don't do that mistake on a test, right? Minus 6. Now what? I freeze up and can't get the rest. No. We're halfway home. We've done the hard part. Now what? We'll multiply that guy on. And what number is in front right here? 1. We'll multiply that right on. And then I bet you'll have some like terms we can gather after that. Let's see. I'm going to get 4x squared plus 14 times 4 is 56x. Plus 45 times 4, I'm pretty sure is going to be 180. Someone double check me. I can do math in my head. Of course, that also meant I had to grow up without a calculator. And then I'm going to have negative 3x squared, positive 7x, positive 6. Like terms, absolutely. Kira, what's my final answer going to be, kiddo? I agree. X squareds.
Plus 63x.
I totally agree.
Plus 100.
Thank you for adding 180 plus 6 in your head without going to a calculator. I don't mind. What I tell students, calculators, they should be crutches. You should lean on them. They shouldn't be stretchers. They shouldn't be carrying all your weight. When I see kids go 5 times 5 on their calculator, I do start to want to pound my head against the floor. You know. Right? There you go. In Math 9, that probably would have been considered on a test a B plus, A minus level question. Math 10, that's a C. We expect you to handle that. Turn the page. What about if we're multiplying 3 binomials? Oh, I gave you a hint. Remember I said when there's 3 terms that you're multiplying together, what should you do? Remember what I said? Drop the first one down, multiply the last 2. Oh, which is what it says underneath the heading right here, too, if you couldn't figure it out. Doesn't it say, when multiplying 3 binomials together, always multiply the last 2 binomials first? So, what looks tougher, number 1 or number 2? Number 2. How about we try number 2, and if we get that one right, we can probably skip number 1. Okay. 3 binomials. See it? Drop the first one down like a domino. The second one I'm going to FOIL out. Yoink. Emma, keep going. Can you? Can you? What's the next one I'm going to write? Sorry, I caught you still writing stuff down. My bad. You haven't caught up yet. Two x times 5 is going to be, I think you said 10x. I was reading your lips, but I'm pretty sure yes. So now with some authority, you get the next one there. If you said negative 1x, I agree. It's hard for me to hear you. And the very, very last one, like you know what you're talking about with authority, with confidence. Hit me, Emma. What you got? Yep. Yep. Okay. Any like terms that I can gather?
Yes.
Let's do that. It'll make the question easier. So I would very, very quickly write it like this. There's a 2x squared. I'm not going to write a plus 10x minus 1x. What am I going to write instead? Positive 9x. Absolutely. Way nicer. And a minus 5. Now what? Now I'm running out of room, Mr. Dewick. Now what? Greg, what did you just say? No. This is brilliant. This is how I'm trying to teach. Greg, what did you say? This is important. You said, oh, we just what?
You just taught us how to do this.
What I'm going to try and do anytime I teach you a new skill is to see if I can't find a way to turn it into an old skill. So we got this binomial times binomial times binomial. I said, you know what? If you drop the first term down and FOIL the second term out, you've now turned it into example 1, which was everything in the front times everything in the back. Oh, so I don't need to memorize a new rule or anything like that. I can build on stuff I already know. That's a good way to do it. So, on your own, try multiplying 3x plus 2 times 2x squared plus 9x minus 5. Let's see if we end up in the same spot. I'm going to be brave. I'm going to try and do the whole thing in my head. I don't know if I'm right. I got to do it the long way now. Pardon me? I'm right? Thank you. Hold your applause, please. Please, please. Oh, stop. I'm blushing. I'm all embarrassed. Please, no more.
Good job, sir. Very good, sir.
I'm pretty sure when you FOIL it out, you get a 6x cubed, a 27x squared, a minus 15x, a positive 4x squared, a positive 18x, and a minus 10. Yes, I hope, think. And then gather like terms. Mr. Dewick? Yes? Mr. Dewick, you really did that in your head? It can be done. You really got to keep track of a bunch of stuff. Would I advise that? No. If you can master that in the homework, feel free to send me to try it. I would never try doing it in my head on a test, though. That's well beyond what I can guarantee that I'll get right all the time. Okay. What do you want to do? Number 3 or... Oh, sorry, first of all, how many of you got this one right? Okay, this is better. What do you want to do? 3 or 4? They look fairly the same. I'm noticing they both have more than one letter. 3? 4? You know what? Let's do 4. We kind of like X's and Y's better than A's and B's anyways. My B's always look like 6's, and I'm worried that I'll write like 5B, and later on I'll think it's 56. Yes, my brain works that way. Oh, Brianna, is this a binomial times a binomial times a binomial? Brianna, did I say Brianna? Brianna. No, it is Brianna. Brianna?
Oh, Rihanna.
Rihanna?
No, that's not like
No, you're Brianna, right?
Yeah.
That's what I said. I don't care what you heard. Your brain is
Sure, we all make mistakes.
never do. Drop the first term down. Multiply the next 2. Drop the first term down. This one, there's no way I'm trying to do in my head because this has multiple letters and there's probably going to be different exponents. Megan, I'm going to show work and be careful here. Less yakking, more mathing. Try this. It means you have to pick up your pencil. Unless you are doing it in your head, which is possible, but then I'll be asking you for the answer showing no work. I put the squared in the wrong place, Mr. Duke. That was silly. Put the squared there. All right. Whoa, what the heck happened there? Minus... Did I forget something? Let me double check.
it just looks like it.
I ended up with that. Okay, so I lost a 3 suddenly there, which means which term is wrong?
Negative.
This term here?
Yeah.
It's supposed to be a negative 9x y squared because I suddenly lost it. Sorry, folks, I had something vanish on me digitally and I didn't catch that it had vanished. Is that what you were kind of pointing out too, or something? Okay. I'm still getting used to the new tablet. I got to find a way to disable the erase button. It's driving me crazy. So, so this is going to be then 9xy squared minus 21xy squared. So you're saying, if I heard you correctly, my friend, that this is supposed to be a negative 30? Yes?
Yes.
So 18x cubed plus 3x squared y minus 30xy squared plus 9y cubed. Yes? How many of you got that? Okay. Excellent. Yeah, it takes a while, but I'm not going to be giving you 15 or 20 of these. Hey, what does number 5 mean when they write that? What does that cubed outside the bracket really mean?
2x plus 1. No, 2x plus 1.
You're really going for the suck up with the sir thing, aren't you? I don't know whether I like it or find it annoying. I'll let you know. So you're saying, Garrett, that that's the same as that mathematically? Is that now a binomial times a binomial times a binomial? Say yes. So are you saying just by writing it like that, I can turn it into this question here, which we already know how to do? Well, then let's not do it. That's how I'd handle that. If they give me a cubed, easiest way, write out all three of them. It takes 1 second, and now you've turned it into a question you already know how to solve. There is a way, which we teach in grade 12. It's called the binomial expansion theorem. There is a way to do these in one step in your head. But, Jessica, I got to be honest, it's not that worth it for a cubed. There is a shortcut. Oh, wrong button. There is a shortcut which you learn in grade 12 for something like this. How would I do that? And that would mean you would drop the first 7 terms down, multiply the last 2, get an answer. Drop the next term down, multiply those 3, get an answer. Drop the next, there the shortcut is worth it. For a cubed, the shortcut's no faster than doing it the long way. So I think we can say, Darren, we can handle this one okay? Well, then let's not waste our time. This looks good. This looks good. We've done all this. You know what? I don't see. When do I see you next? So homework. You got several things. First of all, now, what time is it? 2 o'clock. I'm going to give you the full 40. I'm going to try and give you about what I think is 25-ish minutes of homework, maybe 30. Work right to the tone, and if you work right to the tone, this homework isn't due Wednesday. It'll be due Friday of next week. I want you to have the long weekend off. If you start goofing off, if I sense that, I'll come around quietly and I'll whisper in your ear that yours is due Wednesday. Okay? In other words, Simi, act like an adult if I'm giving you the freedom. It's a spectacular September. I've never had a September like this. I'm trying to enjoy it while we got it, right? Page. Come here. All right. 185. Oh, that's a lie. 186. Number 8. Nine. 10. Nuke 10, and instead of number 10, 15. 17 is a question I haven't talked about yet. It's doing it as pictures again. I'm curious to see if you can figure it out, and if not, I'll talk about it first thing on Wednesday, but I'm deliberately letting you wrestle with it. 18A. And how about 21C? What is that grand total? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. A grand total of 18 questions. You got 40 minutes, about 2 minutes a question. Because these do take some time. I think you should be able to get it done in class if my math is correct. Okay?
That's the answer. You should be ready.
Pardon me? Brody asked, can we just write the answer down? I think here, writing down the question, because I'm teaching you to draw little loops, I think you almost have to, because I'm not going to try and do these in my head. So write down the question, show some work, go to an answer. Whatever works for you. Check your answers in the back, because it's possible to do these all wrong and not know it.